Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of Nydu Vibes. It's great having you here. Thank you for joining me. So it's finally Friday again. I know most people dread the weekdays, Monday to Friday, clocking in the hours at the office or wherever you're working. Well, the weekend is here. It's time to not think about work and think about having some fun because it is important to have a balance between work and life, work and family. Work isn't everything. You do not want to compromise your health, relationship for work. Anyway, I'm babbling too much, getting too serious. Let's get down to the episode already. Today's episode is about me probably getting molested. I'm not sure of the full definition, but you would know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's get right down to it. So I was on a trip to Malaysia from Singapore. It was a road trip. We were driving down the highway, the expressway. I think it's called the North-South Expressway. So it links Singapore to Johor to KL and all the way north. Not sure how far north. So along the way, there are a lot of pit stops with restaurants and toilets and whatnot. So it's very common for you to stop and refresh and relieve yourself. On one of these particular, maybe I should say peculiar stops, I went to the toilet to relieve myself. As I was walking to the toilet, there were a few guys standing outside, probably waiting for their sons or their wife or daughters from the other toilet. Anyway, as I was about to enter the toilet, a guy approached me and he was holding a stack of paper in his hands, and then he took one and gave it to me. I didn't look at it immediately. I folded it and put it in my pocket. Went into the toilet to the urinal. As I was relieving myself at the urinal, I felt caressing on my ass. A gentle brush, whatever you want to call it. Like when you walk in a tight space and someone accidentally rubs your hand against your butt. Whether on purpose or not, you'll never know. So I felt this brushing on my butt. I turned to my right and the flyer guy was standing there. The guy who was giving out the flyer was standing there looking at me and he was smiling. So I thought, oh my god. This guy, what is he going to do next? Is he going to grab my private part? And the thing is, I wasn't young. I was probably late teens or early 20s. I don't really recall. But I had a beard and everything. So you would think he would go for someone who would be more vulnerable. But I guess he thought I was cute, and I don't blame him, right? Well, I'm sorry, I forgot I don't have a face cam, so you guys wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But I can assure you that I am rather cute. Anyway, back to the guy. Let me remind you that my penis was still out of my pants because I was still relieving myself. Well, I was still revealing myself as well. And you will not believe what he did next. He went to the adjacent cubicle, and there were dividers in between the urinals. Not very high, just high enough so that you can't see the dick of the guy next to you. And this flyer guy, he peeked over the divider and had a peek at my thing. Yeah. He had a good look at my dick while I was peeing. And then he moved away. He looked at me and said, "Ah, very small, huh?" And then he flashed the flyer in front of me. He quickly walked away into a cubicle, a proper cubicle, and locked the door behind him. What he did there, I do not want to know. He might have gotten aroused by my thing and went to play with his thing. Yep, I probably was his wang bang for the next week. Anyway, I quickly washed my hands and yes, I put my thing back in my pants, washed my hands, and left the toilet. And I remembered the flyer in my pocket. So I reached my hand into my pocket and pulled it out. And I unfolded the flyer and saw the content. Penis enlargement exercise. Or pills. Something like that. Yep, so this guy was encouraging people to get larger dicks. And he probably goes into that cubicle and encourages people more by looking at theirs and telling them they have small dicks. And and then that will play with the minds, that will affect the self-consciousness, whatever it is, of the guys, and then hopefully they will subscribe to his services. Yeah, obviously I did not, because I know I'm very happy and confident with my penis size. If you're wondering if I told this encounter to anyone, no, I did not. I was traveling with my family, and I did not want my dad to get outraged and get into the toilet and put his foot up the ass of the flyer guy. But I'm guessing the flyer guy might probably have enjoyed it anyway. So that's the end of my encounter story. Yes, very interesting. I have so many stories of... I have so many encounter. I don't want to keep saying encounter. I have so many things like this happening to me. It's so strange. But that also means that I always have an interesting story to recall to people. Yes, so that's the end of my story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe not too much. And maybe you have had such an experience before. You may or may not want to share it because getting touched by a stranger is not exactly the most comfortable thing to talk about. That's the end for this episode. I hope you guys will have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week after that. Thank you for listening. I'll see you guys again next week. Take care, spread love to everyone, and goodbye.